read that out, How to Make a Slave. It says, gentlemen, I greet you here on the bank of the James River in the year of our Lord, 1712. First I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some problems with slaves. Your invitation reaches me in the modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented on some of the newest and still oldest methods for controlling slaves. Ancient Rome would envy us if my programs is implemented. As our boat sailed south on the James River, named for my illustrious king, whose version of the Bible we cherish, I saw enough to know that the problems is not unique. While Rome used cords or woods as crosses for standing human bodies along its highways in great numbers, you are here using the tree and the rope on occasions, meaning they're hanging us at this particular point in time. It says, I caught the whiff of a dead slave hanging from a tree a couple of miles back. You are not only losing valuable stock by hanging, you are having uprisings. Slaves are running away. Your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long. For maximum profit, you suffer occasionally. Occasional fires break out. Your animals are killed. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are? I do not need to elaborate. I am here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My method is simple. Any members of your family or your overseers can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. These methods has worked out modest plantations in the West Indies and will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about shade.
This is Lloyd Street, come on, transfer available for the G and C train. Next stop, J Street Metro, take the thing, clear the closed door.
See, now we on the shade concept, where they saying that they divided us because of our light skin, our dark skin, you know what I mean? Your hue complexion. So, if for those of y'all who just came on, we reading the Willie Lynch Letter. So if y'all don't know what Willie Lynch is, y'all can Google it and find out, but we already into our letter.
Pardon me for a second, but the Willie Lynch letters actually are not dated to the time period that they say they are. They're actually falsified. But I'm president of this African American Student Union at Pratt.
Okay.
Don't put the camera on.
Alright, so look, right? It says, right? There is intelligence, size, sex, size, and plantations, status on plantation. Status on plantation is like when you go to work, somebody got a supervisor position, you did, and you just a stock, and working in the stock. It's kind of similarities. It's really not about the authentication of the letter, but it's about the knowledge that the letter shares, because a lot of the things are relevant and happening right now. So it's not really about the authenticity of a letter. It's about the relevancy of the implementation of the things that are put in this letter that is manipulating the generation today.
For our awareness, they gotta be our awareness.
Yes.
Okay.
Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan does a speech on this, too.
Have a blessed day, bro.
Right. So now, see, now they done difference us on intellectual sizes and things of that nature, right? Y'all make sure we don't lose. Let's stop.
Nah, we got.
Hey, move over, bro. Nah, we know the stop.
All right. So it says, whether the slaves lived in the valleys or the hills, the east or the west, the south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or tall or short. Now that you have the list of differences, they have to identify all differences in us. If you're short, tall, black, dark, whatever it might be, then they'll point the difference out, which will put us in a division state of mind. Everybody with me here?
It's a category, yes.
You hear me? All right. It says, I shall give you an outline of stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. It says the black slaves, right, after receiving this, maybe, let's see, the black slaves after receiving this introduction shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years. So basically they're saying once they put this program in effect, when they show you your differences, all we do is continue to repel and keep doing the same thing over and over. They don't need to teach you no more because you're feeding it to your kids. Follow me? We good? We on the same page, right? Okay. I'm reading the Willie Lynch letter for y'all to know, you know what I mean? For those of y'all that just came in, so we almost at the end of it, so we can have a little discussion, you know, like, because I think train rides is boring nowadays. It's about educating and all that. All right, it says, now it said, don't forget, you must pitch the old black males versus the young black males. And the young black male against the old black males. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves.
Fulton Street will be next, then could have closed
And the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male. And the male versus the female. You must also have white servants and overseers who distrust all blacks. That sound like NYPD to me. I don't know about y'all. Alright, so we got the distrust part pretty much down packed. How many of y'all trust your own brothers on your block? Everybody here trust everybody on their block? Everybody know who their neighbor is next door?
I trust
Trust the majority, right? They're saying, alright, they're saying, right? It says you must also have, I just did that. It says they must love and respect and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control. Use them, have your wives and children, use them, never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. See, the key to this letter with Willie Lynch is to make sure that we all distrust one another. That we all do not trust one another. So if we don't trust one another, how can we do business with one another? That's very often in our communities that we'll have black-owned businesses and nobody will go in the store. Nobody will support. But yet, we have somebody from Yemen or any other country come, and I ain't racist or anything. I'm just pro-humanity. I'm pro-people who are pro-us. They'll come in from other countries, and then you'll have people that'll support, but they'll have a support network that will have the money, and they'll outsource the money. All of the money that the community is spending in that store will be outsourced and not insourced. And what happens is the community will scream about poverty. Right or wrong? Anybody see that happening there? Anybody see that happening right now? How many communities are screaming they impoverished? They ain't got no money in the community. Community can't do nothing. Because nobody's putting no money back into the community. All the money in the community is going out of the country. Right or wrong? These are just facts. So, what we just did is made a demonstration on the train. We on the A train. It's about the Willie Lynch letter. What we got amongst us right now is some of our prospect Jegna students that's with us. You see the young men.
This is Fulton Street.
Far-Rockaway, New York.
For the 2, 3, 4, 5 J train on the upper level. Chambers Street will be next. Express to 20.
We just have a little open discussion, that's all.